What is up, clean freaks and filthy friends alike? Filthy Dan coming at you once again for another film discussion. Tonight we're going to be talking about A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master. Released in 1988, this was the introduction of the pop icon version of Freddy, and it's heavily marketed to the MTV crowd, and it's even been called the MTV Nightmare on Elm Street. Oh, fuck. This entry of the franchise is a really interesting one for me. It's also a kind of frustrating entry for me. And as I said in my Dream Warriors review, I first saw this one around the time that the remake came out. And this one moves around my ranking probably the most, but we will elaborate on that a little later. So yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street 4 is it's a pretty solid follow-up to Dream Warriors, where it brings back the surviving teens, Kristen, Joey, and Kincaid from the previous film, but they're all killed off within the first half hour of the film, so... And it would have been nice even if fucking Dr. Bill Maher had come back to reprise his role, even if it was just for like a single scene, like Kristen's funeral, for example. That would have been nice. This one, also it's a point in this one where at this point in the franchise, the character writing becomes a little more bland. The cannon fodder characters are quite uninteresting, and most of them are defined by just a single character trait. Like, I don't care for most of the characters in this one. We do have Alice, who's basically to carry the torch from Kristen. And Alice, as the new character, she's got an odd mix of bland and interesting, which makes her, just like this film, very fucking frustrating. Lisa Wilcox is cute and she gives a nice performance, so that all weighs out. But her character is written to be a daydreamer, and you would think being a daydreamer in a series called A Nightmare on Elm Street, they'd utilize some really cool shit with that. No, not really. Her daydreaming subplot goes nowhere after Kristen dies, for the most part. It would have been cool if they'd have utilized the daydreaming thing just a little more. I do like the over-the-top dream sequences here, despite them being less and less like real dreams by this point. It seems more like when they were making it, it was their attitude is probably like, what crazy visuals can we throw in here? And they're pretty solid though. It's just a little over the top in some points, but it's good eye candy. But it feels like it feels like they wrote the movie around the dream sequences, which is pretty fucking apparent at some points. The effects in this one might actually be my favorites. I know I previously said Freddy's Revenge has my favorite effects in the series, but rewatching this one, I think Dream Master has my favorite effects. Oh, and you remember in A Nightmare on Elm Street 3 when Kristen was played by Patricia Arquette? Yeah, not this time. She has been recast by Tuesday Knight. And it really kind of takes me out of this one. But, you know, Kristen's mom at least comes back, if that counts for anything. Her mom is annoying, and I actually find her to be a bona fide bitch this time around. And she's probably the one who's more responsible for Kristen dying than Freddy, almost, to a certain degree. But I just don't find anything really making me believe that Kristen and Tuesday Knight are the same. Like, I don't find that this is the Kristen from the previous film. She has a I don't know where I am look on her face the whole fucking time, and I will admit, killing Kristen off earlier on kind of makes up for the recasting issue, but that's just how I feel about that. But while we're on the topic of characters, though, the teen cast, who, as I already said, are pretty uninteresting, they're also a pretty unrealistic friend group. Like I would buy the fact that maybe they're two different friend groups, like tied down by maybe one or two friends. Just kind of I don't know, it just seems like these kids wouldn't really be hanging out together. Um, just a little nitpick here. Um, I do like the portrayal of Alice's dad, though. He's kind of written in the vein of Marge from the first film. It's like, even if he does seem like a bit of a retread of that kind of character, the alcoholic parent, he has not too much going on, but having two kids and one of his kids dying, it gives his character a little more something to chew on, I feel, in terms of the emotional depth. And I'm kind of mixed on Freddy this time around. Like, I always love Robert Englund's portrayal. Almost always love Robert Englund's portrayal. But, I don't know. It's, I just wish for this one he could have dialed it back by maybe like a single notch. Maybe two notches. But it gets worse later, so I guess the Dream Master Freddy is, while a little over the top, this is still not as bad as it can be. He's definitely more of the comedian rock star at this point, though, and I don't know, my thoughts on the way Freddy's portrayed here can change from day to day, but today, Robert Englund could have dialed it back just a little bit. Now there's something they did in here. They have a diner called the Crave Inn, and that's a nice little nod to Wes, because he's not involved with this one again. He took a step out after Dream Warriors. He wanted that to be where they capped it off, and yeah, Dream Warriors would have been a solid ending to the franchise, but new line. Yeah, I thought it was interesting though how this to me almost makes up for the daydreaming not being too utilized. The way that Kristen passes her dream power down to Alice right before she dies, but I don't know. It seems like Alice's dream power is really to just inherit other people's powers or personalities, but I mean, it gives Alice some sort of character development. Like, she was written as kind of a blank slate to start with, and I don't know, when all her friends start dying and she inherits some of their attitudes, it gives her more to chew on in terms of what's going on up here. So, is she the Dream Master, or is it just a clever nod to the rhyme that takes Freddy out at the end? I want to know what y'all think about that. But yeah, this one again, this film really does hit on a lot of the outlandish abstract visuals, which is really cool, but again, the story takes a bit of a backseat to all that, and I think that's something to do with the being written as it was shot. I believe they were writing it as they went along, so it was kind of all played off the top of the head, so I don't know, I got to give credit to Rennie Harlan for he did what he could here, and it was just watch the Never Sleep Again documentary and you'll just understand that. So, what the fuck was with killing Freddy with his reflection and his resurrection too? Like, this film might have the dumbest combination of resurrection and villain death in the series. Like, he's brought back with dog piss, and he's killed with his own reflection. I don't know which one is more irritating. I know a lot of people find a lot of problems with the dog piss resurrection, but the mirror is kind of stupid, but I don't know. It works a little bit because it has the cool effect of going into Freddy's eye and in through his soul. I think when he sees his reflection, we go down into his mouth and see what the inside of his chest of souls looks like. When it shoots out his eye, that's a pretty cool little effect. But what is up with that fucking? I don't know. It looks like after he's defeated and you see the souls of the children leaving through the cathedral in the dream. I don't know. There's just something about that effect. It's a little laughable. It kind of reminds me of like right around the end of the first Fantasia, but not handled as brilliantly. So let's move on. My favorite kill in this one is easily, hands down, or hands off rather. It would be Debbie's kill with the Cockroach Metamorphosis death. It is very disgusting in all the right ways. It's really incorporates some great body horror, and most of the other kills in this one are just kind of meh. The other kills in this are fucking meh. I mean, mind you, there are a few creative kills throughout, but that's the one that I tend to remember the most. I know, I guess a runner-up would be the wanna suck face kill, but the deflated body effect looks a little too goofy, so that's why that one's getting the fucking backseat to the roach kill. Now for the smutty sightings. Firstly, this is firstly even a real word? Anyway, we have Joey's dream scene has our first bit of little smut in here in the form of the glorious nudity. It's the pinup model on his poster appears to be inside of his waterbed, and God bless him, Joey sees this girl inside the waterbed and he wants to get it in, but yeah, of course it's a trap, and Freddy jumps out and kills him there. Yeah, God bless Joey. Nobody, I think, was surprised when, again, another naked woman was his inevitable downfall. And second, this one comes near the end of the film when the souls in Freddy's chest are starting to come out, and we get to see the chest of horror goddess Linnea Quigley trying to come through Freddy, and it's pretty gratuitous. I think they were able to show it quite a few times just because she's obviously coming through Freddy's skin, so you don't see much of her skin. I almost confused myself there, but it's like skin through skin there, and it's real cool. And a lot of people, I don't know if it's just a lot of us guys in the horror community, just we see that and it's like, oh, that's Linnea Quigley. Like, we don't have to know it's her, we can just tell. Anyway, so don't fall asleep, because it is time for the favorite dream. Dan and Alice in that fucking we're going around in circles dream, and this is another one of those interwoven ones, because it's interwoven with Debbie's death scene, and just the way, like, when you watch that for the first time, if you're watching it on like DVD or Blu-ray, you might get a little freaked out thinking, oh fuck, is my disc skipping? Is my player messing up? Like, I remember first time seeing that, I'm like, wait, what the fuck is going on here? And it was just a clever little way for Freddy to take someone out while fucking with two other people. So moving on once more to the man who laid the bricks for the house that Freddy built. It is time for Spotting Shay. We see Bob Shay giving a lecture in one of the scenes in this film. It's I think this was right before Rick's death, if I'm remembering correctly. He's giving a lecture, and he doesn't sound very enthused. It's about I think it's something about dreams. Like I already forgot what he's talking about there, but I don't know, he made Ben Stein look like he has more fucking personality and emotion going on. And now, the one-liner. The Freddy quipper of this film. This is an obvious one, and it's from Joey's dream, and it's, "How's this for a wet dream?" I know that's kind of a cheesy one, but I mean, all the fucking one-liners in this one that Freddy gives are cheesy, but I don't know, that the one with Joey is probably a winner this time around. So yeah, this movie kind of, it's a fucking frustrating watch. Like, mind you, it is a fun watch. It does continue nicely from the Dream Warriors, nice episodically, if you will, and it even serves as a nice attempt for being a bit of a part two in a mini trilogy within the franchise, with Dream Warriors, Dream Master, and the Dream Child all being kind of their own little trilogy within the film series, kind of like the Halloweens and Friday the 13th have. I don't know if I'm the only one who looks at that way, but 3, 4, and 5 in this kind of follow a nice little lineage there, so respect there. But yeah, on the whole, I really don't like A Nightmare on Elm Street 4 as much as I would like to. I mean, I could still sit down and enjoy it, but I'll always enjoy it when I marathon the franchise. I would say A Nightmare on Elm Street 4 is worth a watch. Invite a few friends over and just have some fun, laugh at the fucking thing. But it's nothing too special, in my opinion. And, yeah, I like it, but I don't like it as much as I want to. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Should Patricia Arquette be digitally reinserted into this film, George Lucas style? Stay filthy, everyone.